Just found my notes. Yeah, here's my super professional notes. Quickly scroll down. Yeah, go on. Just begin with start with a little introduction. So welcome everyone to BearTalks. We are joined today by...
Hi everyone, my name's Ross TSU. I'm known amongst my communities as Dad. Don't call it Daddy, it's weird. I've been streaming consistently, I would say, for about 5 or so years, but maybe in the past 3 I've been on and off with really serious health ailments. But I'm now back full time and in the grand scope of things trying to get somewhere in this Twitch space.
Oh wow, I hadn't realized it'd been that long. 5 years you've been streaming for then.
Yep, I started maybe 8 or so years ago, consistently for 5 years. I then had a really bad health ailment where I was getting liquid sacs in the backs of my eyes, and I went temporarily blind. I went about a year hiatus on recovery, thinking I had to stop not only streaming, which broke my heart, but gaming was the biggest thing I had to drop. My work was incredible. They told me to take all the time off I needed. So that stress was relieved, but there was no fun. It was just laying in bed being waited on hand and foot, which might sound fun to some of you, but believe me, it is the worst.
Yeah, fun for a couple days and then the novelty wears off. Oh, darn.
You're 3 months in and you're thinking, I can't go to the toilet on my own. It's depressing.
Go on, but you're better now then?
Oh, yeah, all better. I shed a bunch of weight. I'm weightlifting, trying to competitively weightlift. I'm at my goal now of 22 stone, which some of you might think, well, that's a lot of weight, but I do pack on the weight quite well. Yeah, all good.
Go on, rock and roll. Well, that's an interesting little side note to start with. But well, and today we are going to be talking about the realities of being a streamer, and since you've been on for so long, I think we'll go back to the very beginning. You know, what got you into streaming?
Oh, damn. Where do I begin? I had started with a friend creating a geek publication website. And I believe back then it was called Justin TV. I was an avid watcher of Justin TV, watching League of Legends, and I couldn't stop, even though I was terrible at League and wouldn't really want to play League. I just wanted to interact with the chat, troll some lesser-known individuals who would then become St. Vicious in a pro League stream. Justin TV then dropped, Twitch was created, it became more UI friendly to people like me who at the time didn't have any experience with computers. And then on the publication website being created at that time, they said, why not stream? And I thought I might have the personality for it, the game sense of you know, someone with low IQ and smooth brainness, but I had a personality, so I went with it.
Oh, I'll go with that. So on. So you kind of were promoted almost into that position. What was it that sort of kept you going then?
The biggest thing was seeing how quick, at the time of Twitch not being so known, how communities did develop. When you had those 1 or 2 unique individuals who wanted to mod or become VIPs in, it wasn't Discord back then, I believe it was TeamSpeak. They wanted to be known as names that weren't so affiliated with the brand that you were with, but they'd come in and be like, ooh, that person, I know that person. They were in the stream chat when Ross was live. I must have done that for about 2 years, when my work schedule was 9 to 5 day job, 6 till midnight I'd stream. That was 6 days a week for 2 years. And then I just had a thirst for wanting my own brand. So I left the publication website, did Ross TSU, and here I am now trying to push my own little corner of weirdness onto the internet space.
Rock and roll. Go on. So starting off linked to a brand and then making your own. How was the transfer then?
The difficulty when it came to leaving the publication website, the safety net of that not being me and all of the errors were.
Yep, I think we're back now.
Oh.
Yeah, go on, you were mentioning errors. Perfect timing.
Couldn't have made it up. Well, I think I knew where I left off. When any faults and errors would come up with the publication website or me streaming, they would fall on other people to complete. I never needed to do anything. I would just end the stream, go home, shower, sleep. That was the rotation. And then all of the sponsorships through these communities, as well as the organizations who would send us free equipment. It was just the fun. All I had was fun. Everything then fell down. Things behind closed doors weren't going the way I went, and on creative differences, I decided just to leave. And then created Ross CSU. Then starting from nothing, I then realized this is just me. My communities, while a couple of people followed me over from the publication website, I knew if I wasn't consistent, if I wasn't bringing out content that would affect these individuals to want to come back more and more, I'd just be dead air somewhere that no one would see me playing a game that I knew was oversaturated in a space that I knew I wasn't good at in a game sense. So that was the initial trouble.
Well, and that brings out a very interesting point. So you actually began in an oversaturated title then. How do you how do you feel like you broke through then? How do you feel you made something your own that others could see?
I've got there's a few rules that I follow deeply when I stream, and it's either you have to have an amazing IQ or game sense of the game that you're playing. I know people throw the word variety streamer out a lot there, but they do have one staple game that they go to. Again, great IQ gameplay, or you have to have an infectiously inviting personality. You know, anyone can stream. Everyone nowadays can stream. So the whether you're on your mobile phone, a tablet, or even just a low-end PC, the saturation now isn't just gaming. It's everyone is now entitled to stream and doing and starting it from nothing. But I broke through League quite quickly because I had maybe 5 or 6 people follow me from the Geek Publication website who were seeing my journey through ranked go miserably. I think I've reached as high as gold, but I'd only play volley bear. And then this weird sort of thing with me being a bear sort of came around. And then that circulated to having some random Reddit posts being, this guy just screams a lot, shouting that he's a bear, playing volley bear in League of Legends. And then I was raided, surprisingly, by search as by what, 3,500 people. And at that time, again, Twitch was fairly new, and these people stayed. And then that's when the hiatuses came in. My internet was terrible. My PC would blow up. I'd move. I lost all that momentum. But that just shows that consistency is key.
Yes, no, I completely understand that. Moved house myself, and there's a massive shift when you're stopping being consistent. You start to see those delays. Oh, wow. So you just some random people posting about you over on like forums.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I didn't know it was happening. People were like, this guy's really weird. I'll take weird any day of the week. I just wasn't happy being that bear guy who looks like a bear and just shouts at his monitor, because I wasn't that angry. But I still got the clip of me being raided. I still have the initial me just stopping. What's going on? I'm being botted. And the people are like, no, it's real. And then my chat just flooded. And I thought, I can't look at chat anymore.
Oh no, that's awesome. Actually, that's really cool to hear. But it does bring the question you were saying you're not really a fan of the idea of being the bear guy. Then how do you feel that did that have any effect or?
I think it kept me wanting to play League for longer. I was feeling an immense burnout because for those 2 years with the website, I just played League of Legends, and because I wasn't my own entity as Ross, I was streaming on behalf of that community. So I was just following suit, and even though that I did enjoy the game, it then became a job. And then when it came to doing it on my own, I had no other game to go to. All I played was League of Legends. That was the most nerving part, because I thought the moment I leave League to something else, no one's going to watch me playing Y, Z, X, another game, you know? But yeah, that was the nerving situation with leaving League.
Well, and what if that's been kind of the fear at the beginning? What finally gave you like the oomph to go ahead and try something else?
It was probably following some guides online. Now, I shouldn't have been thinking about the things that I would do at the time, and they're big mistakes that people do from the get-go, which is looking at your viewer count. If you think that your chat isn't moving, you're unsuccessful. Again, it comes down to being good at the game you're playing or just having a good personality. If you just keep yourself entertained by playing a game that you want to play, you can't lose. Then when I moved, I think it was Dead by Daylight that I moved to next. That was, I think, was beta. The game was extremely unpopular at the beginning of it being in this asymmetric horror 4 survivors 1 killer aspect. And then it blew up with these creators creating these parodies of juking and 360ing. Again, these things I couldn't do. So all I had to rely on was being that guy who had to be entertaining until I got to the space now, which, bearing in mind, I'm still trash now. I just believe that I'm entertaining to some form because people keep coming back. So, yeah, that were getting over it was difficult, but I had to just do it for my own sanity.
Oh, that's fair enough. I think some good advice in there as well, which was something we are going to be discussing, of course, is, yeah, I mean, what looking back from those early days, what do you feel, not necessarily just that you've done wrong, but also what you did right? What do you feel has been the journey at the beginning that would make a good start for others?
If I had to give advice to my earlier self when streaming, create a brand, create your name initially, something that you're proud of to promote and stand by for some time. I've known individuals who've changed their names countless times and wondering why aren't people coming back because they can't bloody find you. But also to not focus on the numbers. That's the biggest one I can give. If you are looking at that viewer list and you're going up 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, that's obviously going to be you and maybe a device that you have on the side that maybe checks chat or the quality. But when you see 3 and 4, all you need to do is entertain like you've got thousands of people in front of you. If you have the mindset of, I just want to earn money, be rich, be famous, be sponsored by Logitech, fist bump ninja in the middle of a Primark with a sponsored clothing aisle, there's not a place you're going to get your mindsets wrong. But don't focus on the numbers is probably the first rule, I'd say, when you're starting, or even just at that early stages of streaming.
I can run with that. I definitely think there's not just in looking at the numbers, but also looking at chat. I know you mentioned, like, if your chat's running slow and you keep staring at it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say then to someone who is starting off and maybe has no or a slow chat? It's like a way of... It's kind of strange to say, but a way of coping with that, because it can get you a little.
I find if you're finding the difficulty is that you can't bounce off of your own ideas with the games that you're playing, or even if you happen to have a conversation with yourself about something that's experienced that day, mention a story. Just start speaking. You can then rotate a conversation in your head. You can drive that content yourself. You look at the clock, an hour's gone. That chat might not have moved, but you're still being entertaining for someone who might just pop in as a new person who's, this guy seems to be talking about his day. Oh, he got bit by a seagull, he kicked a toddler, and that looked like an amazing day. He ate a bag of crisps, and all of a sudden, it turns out they were the wrong flavor. Allergic reaction. He found himself naked on a beach 4 hours later. Just random stuff. It doesn't need to be difficult to create a story, to be engaging, because all you're engaging with is yourself. When that initial chatter then comes in, welcome them with open arms. But it's so hard to see people who, even when they see their first chatter, don't interact because they have the expectation already. I get no chatters, and they're dead set on that game. And you say, "Hi, new to the stream. Let's say they're playing League of Legends. Why are you playing jungle? Have you played it for long?" And then you wait maybe 25 minutes, and they haven't said a word. It could either be nerves, it could be the expectation of, "Oh, I don't want to scare this person away. Maybe my gameplay will say something for itself." Yeah, you just got to engage with yourself and just be confident in what you're putting out there and what you say to yourself, really, because essentially it's just talking to yourself.
Yeah, I definitely actually feel that the whole talking to yourself thing, yeah. And any kind of content, streaming or videos, you name it, you are literally just sat there chatting to yourself. Yeah. Come on, I'll run with that. So go on, bringing this back a little. So we've got like the early days of you starting out. So you didn't necessarily choose Twitch. Twitch was kind of chosen for you, being part of the work. What made you want to stay with it? Why not branch out?
That's the age-old question, especially nowadays. With so many sites doing this streaming game. Initially, I think it was Facebook that was the first one. But no, it was a YouTube or Facebook. I think they sort of came on the same parallel.
I think it was Facebook, wasn't it? The mix of
I'm sure it was Facebook. Was Facebook with Mix? See, I'm terrible. I'm awful.
I know this from the peripheries. I was not involved in any of this stuff. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, you had other options, as you said.
Yeah, so I think with Facebook, the one thing I really, really disliked about Facebook was if you had a personal account, you spoke as your personal account. I don't want people knowing my personal account when I'm streaming on stuff. And then I had to make an alter ego, go through the effort of being Ross TSU then on Facebook. And while people might be like, just make a second account, it's not that bad, just switch accounts. Why should I do that? I'm coming to Facebook because I'm speaking with family and friends. And then, oh, my friend is streaming. Click. Now people know my name. they can see where I live, my 3 girlfriends. Damn, they're all going to be upset when they find that out. That was probably the most critical thing, is I didn't want the faff of forgetting who I was. I put up a status of me going to a supermarket. Oh my god, I'm Ross TSU, they don't know where I live. Again, it sounds so silly, but that was the one thing that sort of kept me away from Facebook.
Oh, that's fair enough. I'm kind of curious then, given that reasoning, why is it you've chosen Ross TSU then?
Oh god, this is probably the amount of times I get asked this question is beyond, and it's not as interesting as it is. So pre-warning, I'm a really boring guy. So back in the Xbox 360 days when Halo 3 multiplayer was being absolutely just trolled with 12-year-olds, me and 2 other friends, all of our names are 4-letter names: Ross, Reese, and Rout. And we thought, let's make a little clan thing out of this. We'll just select 3 random letters, and then they'll be the ends of our names. So I chose TSU, Ross TSU. My friend Reese chose OKD. Reese was then OKD, and then Rout YMO. And that was it. There was no other characteristic beyond it. And then people started calling me Ross Sue, saying, "Do you watch anime?" Tsubasa is a name that you'd think Ross Tsubasa. I don't know what you're talking about. I then had to study what these things were, and I was more commonly known to this like Tsubasa soccer, I think it is.
Okay.
Or Tsubasa football.
I'm honestly not sure. A lot of students do talk to me about like local teams or things going on in sport, and I'm just like, I don't like soccer. I don't like baseball. I don't really know what you're on about. Do you like skateboarding? Like, that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, that was the crazy creation of my name, and probably the most asked thing about me. Not how much can I lift, how much can I squat, how many things can I fit in my mouth at any given time. Where did you come with Ross TSU? Come on, man. The internet's your oyster, that's what you asked me.
Well, to be fair, I was initially thinking, oh, it's an acronym for something. No, apparently not. Fair enough.
Just boring. 3 letters, that's it.
Well, no, fair enough. But so the reason I asked is because, as you were saying initially, you were trying to separate like yourself from your alias, but then choosing your name. How do you feel that's like affected what you've done on your channel? Do you feel, because I mean, I go by Brought to Bear. I have an alias. I can hide behind it, if you will. It does give you a little bit more freedom. Do you feel having your name out there has changed your approach?
Yes, because when I returned this time, I wanted to rebrand entirely. But I'm not creative. I knew I'd forget where I was. If I did make an alias, I'd still say, I'm Ross, my name's Ross. And then over maybe 2 weeks before returning for this time, people were saying, just stick to Ross TSU. Even if you just get a better logo, stream different games, bring out different types of content. That's the kind of rebranding you want. And you might see that I have the world's worst memory, and I'll hold that title strongly. And even if I went by an alias of, I don't know, Ladman2420, I would still be, oh, my name's Ross. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, I forgot that's not my name anymore. So I just thought, stick to Ross TSU. It's simple, it's easy, it can be edited cleanly. And it's just a really simple brand that if I wanted to go and do something with it, it's something that I could be proud of. Not people who are like, MLG player 420 360 kickflip over dog nose, you know, those XOXO names.
Yeah, the ones that go on and I struggle to read, let alone remember.
Yeah.
Well, as I was thinking, when you're saying about rebranding, you'll have to come up with an acronym for TSU.
I've been trying so much. People keep calling me TeamSpeak Unicorn.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It's not cool, man. Don't make it a thing. I gotta show people this interview.
So you could totally have, like, you know, the TeamSpeak microphone speaker, and instead of that, you can just put a little unicorn behind.
I can't. I know 3 people who use unicorns as their identifiable branding, and if I come a part of that group, these, let's say, is degenerate a word I can use on this podcast?
That sounds like a kid's show, like a fairy tale.
I was thinking more like someone who's on a list. I wouldn't say a fairy tale. But yeah, I was thinking of an acronym, but what I wanted to do was, if the rebranding was happening, I'd keep TSU, and I would try and find a really clean design for just the letters T, S, and U. I'd still call myself Ross TSU. I'd still include Ross in everything that I introduce myself as, but just keep the TSU as the branding.
I was thinking we're going a little off topic, but I'm running with it. You could always use tsu, the curve, the hiragana Japanese.
I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I could run with it. I just need to find something nice and clean. I don't want my name on a shield and then it's just like elements around it, and then there's guns. I couldn't think about it. I just want something nice and clean.
Go on, that's fair enough. I think we've run that one a little far away from the main, so let's drag back onto sort of developing your channel from the past. So we've started off, you're running Ross TSU, it's your own thing now, and you're sticking with Twitch. So of course, just as you said, Twitch has changed a lot over the years. When it first started off, it was pretty darn small, to be fair. It was a very close-knit community to begin with. How do you feel things have changed over the years?
I'd like to think they've changed positively. With the genres of games that they're allowed to create. I say games now because that's sort of like where I entered Twitch, and that's what it was. But now people can just IRL themselves getting groceries. People, let's say, riding Ubers. The spaz of live streaming now goes beyond gaming, and I think a lot of people sort of miss that, especially my community and people that I chat with every day. They think it's just about gaming. I think it's positively affected the way that we've streamed. I do believe with how certain people have catapulted into the fame and the main lens scope of what Twitch is promoting is a bit weird. One individual comes to light when she floats on a banana in a mini pool. That's cool. She can do that. That's obviously her niche. Power to her. I love what she does. She's capitalized on a market that I certainly wouldn't get into if I was playing League of Legends with my top on. It wouldn't happen. If I took it off, I'd get some people. But I think Twitch
is this
itself
you
is positive.
secretly coming out that you'll be doing a hot tub stream soon?
Brought to you first.
That could be quite funny, actually. You should do it in a goldfish bowl, even better.
No, I couldn't. That's all the chat. They call me Goldfish Brain because I'm so bad. My memory's terrible. Oh,
Go on. Sorry. So yeah, we were saying how Twitch has changed in interesting ways.
Yeah, and again, with it being positive, Twitch get a lot of flack with how people are being banned, all the controversies that people bring on themselves and Twitch actioning them. I don't see where people can think that Twitch can go with it. If you ban one, you're making an example out of someone, and then you see people doing atrocities, and it's like, they haven't been suspended for a few days? Are you kidding me? Twitch needs to have healthy competition like Facebook. I wouldn't say Facebook's at the point, or there's no website I'd say is at the point to compete with Twitch. But when there's healthy competition that's going to rival Twitch, people are saying that this Trovo site is going to match Twitch. There's no way that's coming up to Twitch's standards in the next year. I don't think there's any website that's coming up to Twitch's standards. But once Twitch sees a threat, Twitch has to improve. Twitch doesn't need to improve beyond what it's already done. There's no competition. They're the main heads of this game. But if someone does challenge for that title, you better know that Twitch are coming in to make some big changes, and they have to be for the better.
No, I think that's a fair shout, and definitely I'd say it's a fair consideration of the market right now. I would still say like the closest that Twitch has to competition would be YouTube, but at the end of the day, YouTube's there for videos, and even if you do stream on it, there isn't really like the same infrastructure for streamers. Like, it is a very different space than when you're streaming over on Twitch.
I've only seen 2 people stream on Twitch, and I get where people are coming from when they say, if I create content and it's only going up on YouTube, and it's only going up on YouTube, it's all archived there. But obviously when you log off of Twitch and you go offline, that Twitch channel becomes stagnant. And I get people want to remain consistent and active. They want to make sure that channel gets enough views. They want to make sure that channel gets enough exposure and activity as possible. I can see why YouTube is beneficial, but I still don't think its streaming service matches what Twitch brings right now. And I don't think there's going to be a time close enough where it will match it.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of very much with you as well. I should say I do streaming and videos over on YouTube. But no, I 100% agree that the way that it's set up, and from talking to actually some really big channels, and they would all say that like they stream on YouTube, they also do videos on YouTube, but it's separate channels, and they would never mix them because YouTube algorithm just doesn't really like that.
Mm.
Oh, cool. No, interesting stuff. Well, coming back onto Twitch then, of course, you've stuck with it. Granted, there's not as much competition elsewhere. What would you kind of want to see changing, see progressing in Twitch then?
My biggest gripe with Twitch, and it's something I'm going to stand firm with for the longest time, the move to creating a new account to affiliate is so small. The space between affiliate and partner is massive, and I believe there's a space between partner and, you know, the higher
partner
people.
Plus.
Yes, they might not show it, they might not advertise it being a thing, but there's definitely, as you said, a partner plus in the whole scheme of it. I don't know whether they can make partner more approachable to allow affiliates to reach that stage, or make a midsection. I think having the idea where you say, I need to have, I believe it's 3 concurrent viewers for affiliate, I believe. Which again isn't sort of a really difficult task to do with when you have your own device and 2 other phones to the side of you. It's not difficult. And then you've got to get to 75 people. Now I can imagine a lot of people are so hyped for affiliate status. I was so starstruck by it. But then I seen the last stage, and damn, was I disheartened to see 75 people concurrent. It wasn't just at one given time. I think there'd be a really cool stage if there was a point between affiliate and partner that shows progression, that makes you feel like even if you were getting 40 to 50 average, there's something there for you to achieve. Not just get a few more. Come on, what's 15 more people? You average 50. Come on, stop. 25. Maths were terrible there. What's 25 more people? Come on, you can do it. I think there needs to be a middle point, or at least an affiliate plus to lead to partner.
No, I can actually get right behind that, to be honest. As you said, it's showing progress, so you're not sort of getting down in the dumps about being stuck somewhere. You haven't plateaued. You can actually gain something from it. But that was the one thing I was trying to think through as you were talking. What would you say could be a viable thing to gain? Like, what would you say to you is an important feature that you would gain going between affiliate and partner?
I think the concurrent average viewers, the live viewers, is obviously a staple. They're never going to get rid of the idea of, if you are popular, they can obviously monetize from you. I think if they increase the affiliate from 3 to 10, and I know there's going to be a lot of hate for this, but if they move it from 3 to 10, people coming into streaming will get realistic expectations of what it takes to be a streamer. Getting 10 people, it's easier said than done, because I'm over that now, where people will think, oh, but it's 10, I don't get 10. This is where you get the feelers for what it's like at the beginning. Everyone suffers it unless you're coming in from someone who's more known. Make affiliate 10, and then the mid stage could be 30 to 35, and then keep partner where it is. I think, and the second rule following off my first rule is, people's expectations when it comes to online creation is way too high. And I know a lot of these tutorial channels will say, to get 1,000 viewers, buy a £500 camera, make sure you get a £1,000 microphone. Your headset, it can be whatever you want, but if you don't spend more than $300, you're trash. And I hate the idea that people will feed into it, and they will spend a lot of money to be like, oh, I'm not instantly recognized or seen by so many viewers. This is crazy. People need to lower their expectations immensely, because Twitch is oversaturated, because anyone can stream. When you have those expectations met in your own mind, you're not looking at those viewer count, you're not looking at your chat, not moving, and you're not thinking, Twitch money, Twitch money, Twitch money. This game becomes so much fun to deal with that you will get that success in time. Just enjoy the journey. But it's expectations, man.
No, I can 100% get behind that. And I will say the one thing I would actually recommend to anyone coming in, doing anything, doing streaming, doing videos on any platform, no one's going to watch the first one, so just do what you want, get it done, and then learn from what you did. Like, use that as tutorials for yourself to progress your actual abilities. Because, yeah, no one's going to find you at the beginning. But no, sorry, there was actually a little confusion there. Interesting point, but I was wondering what you would think you could get from Twitch. So, like, moving on.
Huh?
Yeah, no, it's said it. Interesting stuff, but when you're moving up through the systems, going affiliate, going partner, what are the features as a streamer you actually want from it?
Oh, that's a question. I'm such a simple man. I go about my day. I wake up, I floss, shave, and wax whatever I need to. My day's done.
And wax? Where did
Oh,
that
I
come
wax
from?
things, man. Ah, don't worry about it. It's my routine. You didn't ask me. Get off my back, mum.
Was that what we're waxing?
That's why the green screen's there, so you can't see. I wouldn't say support is probably what I'd want. I think clearer set guidelines for how we can improve. Obviously, there's no magic key or magic formula that people can get popular or recognized, but maybe allowing, especially with like joining the affiliate program, what are your expectations when you become affiliate? Maybe giving them a small guide of a small TLDR, too long didn't read, of the terms of service. This is what we expect of you as someone who's not contracted by us to be an affiliate. You've got the world as your oyster. There are other platforms that you can consider, but when you're an affiliate, just know it's not extravagant lifestyles and triple to quadruple figure payouts. I think a bit more transparency from Twitch to show others that this game is easy to get into and it's fun. It's the hype to do it might give you confidence to explore different avenues with gaming or even just within your own personal life. But don't make it a thing that you will try and survive off of doing this, you know? Don't drop everything in your life like I've seen people do to expect something when this is a grinding time for years. I think Twitch's responsibility should be to announce to these individuals who join, this isn't an end game for everyone. Not everyone makes it. A small fraction of people make it.
Yes, no, I can definitely take that one on board. I think this is something, of course. Do you watch Britain's Got Talent or anything like that, or X Factor?
Oh God, I was forced to many years ago, but I get it, yeah.
Yeah, you've escaped. But yeah, essentially, you need a Simon Cowell. You need someone who can sit there and be like, look, don't quit your day job. Just
me. I'm that guy. I've generated so much hate on panel shows when they'll say, "Can you give us your opinion on X?" And I'll look dead into the camera and I'll say, "Listen here, Stephen. Don't quit your job. If you're going to move out, manage your finances, but this game isn't going to be forever." And people are like, how rude. Why would he tell people to consider the options of being unsuccessful on Twitch? Are you kidding me? I'm trying to help you, Stephen. I don't know why I chose Stephen out of the hat, but yeah. There you go, Steve. That's for you.
All the Steves of the world are now crying. But no, I think, it is a really good point. And actually bringing in that, why would you say that? It's rude. I don't really understand how, like, in the modern day, it's become this idea that it's rude to say someone's dreams won't come true. Dreams are dreams. They're something that you hope will happen. They probably won't. If it was something that is going to happen, that's not a dream. That's just, Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'm taking that from you. Cheers for that.
No,
but expect the worst, hope for the best. That's my mind space.
On the note of chasing those dreams, though, because of course, when you started off, this would have been a dream. How did you sort of deal with those startup troubles? So when you were starting to feel low, feeling like you're not progressing, feeling like you're kind of not getting anywhere, what's your solution for picking yourself up?
Oh God, I think it was down to the confidence that I had in my ability to entertain myself. There were one or two individuals who, like I'm saying to you now, were telling me the exact same things. Do this for you because it's fun. If you take away the factors that you see these big broadcasters, which obviously their job, they need to be everywhere to make Twitch money. If you have that idea in your mind, you've already lost this streaming game. Take it for fun, because when you do get that form of success, when you get that first subscriber, that one person who keeps coming back every single time, that's just so much sweeter to accept, because that will catapult. That first viewer becomes 3, that 3 becomes 10, that 10 becomes 15, and it will just snowball. I think having the realization that this isn't going to be a quick fix for just getting some quick cash, playing something that I want to play, that was the wake-up call. I took a week off, recouped, came back with a cleaner, much clearer headspace to involve myself more in things that I wanted to do, playing the games that I knew I was going to have fun with, and didn't focus on what's popular now, who do I need to buddy up with to sort of get into some form of space. As I'm doing now, I'm just communicating with people to allow everyone the same opportunity that I have, which is I'm doing Twitch for fun, but it's also benefiting me mentally too.
No, I can actually get behind that a lot. I know, and I'm glad you said it. Like, I know a lot of people talk about toxicity on channels and stuff, but there is something genuinely good. Like when you get on and you, as you said, you meet that one person who keeps showing up each time, and you're getting to know them. You're having a good chat. You do start to feel good. You start looking forward to your streams, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And if they don't show up, yeah, it's a bit suckish. But then next time, you're like, oh, dude, you weren't there. How you doing? What's going on? And you can actually start to develop something with them. It's a strange one.
I've met so many people in real life who I visited on holidays because I've met them through Twitch. Keep the vibes good, and if they're going to feed me while I visit them, that's cool too.
I definitely wouldn't say no.
You're more than welcome to me.
Go on though. So sticking on this note though of the growth, that 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, etc., etc. How is it you went about developing that growth on your channel?
So initially, the first time I developed Ross TSU, as you can imagine, for the first maybe 6 to 8 months, it was terrible. There were no shows all the time. I had one friend, Jathleen, who I'm only name dropping now because you get mods who exist because the sword is cool and they ban the bots. But every day she gives me stream summaries. She tells me of things that were clippable moments. She's like, this is what happened in the stream. I thought that was hilarious. That should be content. She goes above and beyond being a mod because not only does she expect this to be successful for me, because I'm driven to be successful. She drives me to be better at this game. And then you get other regulars who I won't name drop. There are too many to sort of prove, and I don't want to upset anyone. That also make the streaming game worth it. As you said, when I go live, they're all there. They're all saying, hello, how's your day? What are you doing? And then when you go offline, you have that overwhelming sense of, for 4 hours I just streamed, and I've made someone's evening better. And then you get hyped to come back again. And then there they all are, bam, 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 straight up. But the growth for me was remaining consistent. There are simple rules to streaming, and as long as you remain consistent and true to yourself, because if the moment you say to yourself, this game I'm playing, it's not fun for me, or you're not feeling streaming because you're burnt out, that chat reads you like a book. You think you might hide that well, and everything that you say might be coming off as entertainment, but they know what's up. You will get DMs on Discord saying, oh man, you seem really off in the stream, everything okay? People will notice that. So recognize, again, your own expectations when it comes to streaming, come in with a clearer head to know that Mr. Beast £1 million donation drop isn't going to happen, and just be happy with what you have, because there's always going to be one thing that you will grow with every stream, always.
I can take that on. Go on, so sticking with this idea then, so that's sort of how you've been developing your stream itself, sort of I like the idea of getting feedback as well. I think that's something that I'm very envious you have a mod who takes the time to go through rock and roll. But no, that is awesome. But then you've also got the fact that besides developing your stream itself, you also develop a community. So where would you say like the Ross TSU community really began and has expanded from?
Oh damn. When I left the publication website, as I said, I had maybe 2 or 3 people who sort of followed over. I stuck with League. Reddit was my best friend, but equally my worst enemy. Don't just randomly post things on Reddit, folks. And at least have no form of notice that you knew what was going on. Most people brought their friends. So I had the same 3 people who would bring their closest friends, and it would be, wow, this guy has something to offer. He has a really nice, relaxing voice. He does these random fanfics where he reads really obscure things within TOS, by the way, really obscure things that people seem to want to get behind, and they want to get involved too. So while I wasn't really caring so much for monetization, I didn't have a donation link underneath my channel, which that's another thing that gripes me. I fed into what I was seeing chat blow up with, and they were normal minimalistic things. Again, fanfics, just being a goofball, but just remaining consistent. These people were waiting in my chat for an hour prior to me streaming at 6 o'clock. Where's Ross? Is Ross coming? Because I mean, back then Discord didn't exist. There was no community platform that brought people together. I couldn't tell you when these individuals sort of all rolled in together and came along, but I joined communities and with activities, so with how active I was within what they were doing, following charity streams, co-hosting. Back in the League days when they were very simple, I'd do a lot of shoutcasting. I was very knowledgeable of League, but right now, again, I couldn't even name you 5 champions off the top of my head. I was interlinked with a lot of things because I wanted to do them. It wasn't for an ulterior motive of viewership or to get a name on a particular thing. I loved what I did, and I think that stemmed to everyone's knowledge. Wow, not only is he a really good shoutcaster, he wants to be here all the time. I'd stay an hour after stream and do a Q&A for the Geek Publication website that I didn't need to do. I was going home at 2 a.m. because someone has questions about streaming, and then my DMs would blow up on Twitter to say, how do I do this with Streamlabs OBS? How do I do that? Welcome people, but just always let them know there are boundaries. I don't want to know about something personal, but just know I'm always there to say if you've had a good day, and I'm grateful that you continue to support me with the most valuable thing, which is time.
Well, that's raised a very good point as well. So having those boundaries, how is it that you've been able to deal with situations where people come on, I want to put it like big bad news, stuff that requires a personal touch, separate time to just chat through things? How is it you've managed to cope with that?
Oh, I want to say most people that stream, that have a community, will have had one of these moments. Oh God. The first thing I would do with a publication website, I'd get told to ignore the message, which was terrible because you'd always want to console someone. And if they believe that your chat is a safe haven for their feelings, you have to acknowledge it. I'm not saying stop the stream, give them a half an hour one-to-one and let them know that they're there. Things are very real in the online space. People do connect with you on a really personal level. And I'd hate to think that someone would enter my stream, whether a concurrent viewer or someone who's new, and then all of a sudden leave being like, I can't believe I didn't even get a you're sorry or are you okay? But then also they have that expectation to think that you would drop everything and do that. I think you just got to set that boundary with yourself. How well would I go? I think if I were to give it, can I give an example?
Yeah, if you feel comfortable with it.
But I know I won't drop names. I believe it was maybe in the month that I left this instance, last year, March, someone had come to chat to say that their dad had passed away. And while I'd known this view, and this viewer's been a concurrent viewer, we all took a breather. Everyone in the chat obviously sending their condolences and saying they're sorry. That's the first thing I did. I'm sorry to hear about your loss. It's an awful thing to have to go through and grieve, but just know the grieving process is your own. No one can tell you how to do this. I hope that if you continue to stay, that I can create a safe space. And then chat just blew up. Chat just did it all for me. And I think there's levels to how you can interact with someone or anyone, depending on how obviously severe the situation is, that you get away with being able to speak like that. Because a lot of people, I've seen chats, someone say something minuscule like, I had a really bad day in work, and then you can imagine that the 12-year-old Xbox gamer tag speak being like, you get over it, you pussy, and all that. And that's horrible. And if anyone in my chat were to have done that, that'd have been a ban, whether you've been there for one day or since day one. But yeah, set your boundaries. Some people aren't comfortable with acknowledging it at all, but I would always need to acknowledge if someone's having a bad day, because that could happen to me at some point. Who knows?
No, I can actually totally agree with that. I wouldn't really want to give advice to people, but I would say, like, consider that being you, and you've said to someone, I'm having a bad day, and then they ignored you. Kind of not really going to help the situation. You don't need to go out of the way, but you do just sort of, oh, that sucks, mate. Go on, hopefully things will get better. Simple words, but still.
Yeah. And you can be genuine with doing it. People believe that when people are saying things like that in your chat, oh, they're just baiting for your attention. Where does that lead to? I really hope that today gets better for you. And they're not going to be like, okay, cool. And then I get like a paragraph of what's happening in their life. It doesn't happen like that. People are genuinely just looking for a pick-me-up. And as creators, if they're coming to us for that kind of that input, why can't you separate a few seconds of your stream to say, pat on the back, I really hope everything goes well. It's sad to see some streamers don't do that.
No, I'm right over there with you on that one. I think that's common decency, I believe is the correct term. But go on, let's bring this to a bit of a lighter space ourselves. So you were mentioning that, you know, if someone did come in and they're saying things are bad and then someone starts ripping into them, that's an instant ban. How has it been? Like, have you had to give out a lot of bans on your site?
No, not really. I think at the beginning, like, the trolls were rife because obviously being new in the Twitch space, I sort of wasn't really handling my own emotional space really well. Someone would come in, whether it was from the game that I was playing or they would just see me do a bad play and I'd be like, I'm not dealing with this guy, ban. But as of now, I don't rise to it. I've had people. Well, this is a really good example. Last week, I was playing Dead by Daylight, and in the lobby, they'd known that I was streaming, so they come into the chat and they were like, "You were garbage. I can't believe you let me die on the hook." And then the first thing was, "You need to relax. It's just a game. You know, we're here to be chill. We'll have a conversation. I'm not here to be antagonized." And he apologized in my chat. He said, "I'm sorry for blowing up," but gave me a follow and left. You know,
Nice.
Being griefed and handling trolls is easy as long as you don't match their levels or you don't antagonize them to go further, because they've got anonymity behind that screen. They're keyboard warriors. They can do whatever they want to you. You know, if they're threatening obviously bigger things, that's an authority, call the authorities and whatnot. But you're in control. This is your platform. This is your content. In that chat, those are your people. You should have those one or two people who are there to make sure that you are making those right decisions too.
No one can run with that. Oh, well, so obviously that was coming in at the start. You're getting griefers, trolls, etc. You do have to deal with that separately. Do you feel that the ban has been used like elsewhere in your chat? Because obviously, as you said, you're not always the one who controls these sort of things. You do have mods who are keeping an eye on things. What would be like a bannable offense, if you will?
I think an immediate TOS of Twitch. You know, someone comes in, racial slur, ban. I meet almost everything that comes in negatively into that chat as a learning experience. Not for me, for them. Why have you come in here and called me a dick? Why have you done that? Let's talk. Everything is about having a conversation. Nothing should be met with hostility. Nothing should be matched with hostility. There's no excuse for violence on any level. So then, yeah, I try to educate myself. Why have they done that? Hopefully come to an agreement, and more often than not, they'll just leave. There's no need for a ban. But I think the immediate factors, again, racial slurs, someone being transphobic or homophobic, you know, the generic things, that I don't think there are ways of getting by people. They've come in with an agenda. They've done a level 1 bannable offense. Just hit that button. Let's not even give that person more time.
Yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that. If you're coming in and literally breaking the rules of the website, yeah, there's kind of no real discussion around that one. I mean, you could try and argue it, but good luck.
Yeah, I mean, you can't facilitate it because it's like, why that person comes in, drops an absolute banger, you're like, oh shit, why? And then you've opened the floodgates. You've given them a reason to stay and argue it. Yeah, just throw that ban. Don't deal with it. Don't let them mess with your headspace when you stream.
Well, I am curious on this. It's thankfully it's not something that's really happened to me. I've had anyone come in with that sort of energy, as it were. But is there quite a risk then coming in, because it's on your chat? So are you responsible for that? I honestly don't know.
I don't think I'd be responsible if some random viewer who's never followed me drops an N-bomb. I don't think, you know.
I was referring if you engage them and you say like, well, why are you saying that? What's going on?
I don't think it would be. I think it all depends on how you come across. If someone did come in and drop some absolute smoke and you say, oh, well, actually, and then you retaliate with those exact feelings, saying those exact words, then I guess that's TOS. But yeah, don't rise to it. Never rise to trolls. They've got a screen to protect them. They're in Guatemala with their 400 pesos dollar mansion or wherever, and they don't care about you when they exit your stream. But I know people will hold that all day, and they'll have the next 2 hours of their stream. Oh, god damn it, that Juan Vasquez won in my chat. Ooh, it's just sad to see people will fall for it.
Well, no. So all I was asking is, since you've been on for so long, I don't know if it's happened to you or you've seen it to others. Just curious. Let's just bring up
no.
a final good point on this topic, because it's a long one that does deserve a bit of airtime.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get over it? When someone comes on being a douche, what is your right? Let's get back into this. What's your prep?
This is probably going to sound a bit too big-headed for me to actually say this out loud. I don't rise to it. I'm too black and white. Something comes in, it's immediate hostility. You assess the situation as a streamer. You say that's either a conversation, an educational purpose for everyone in chat to realize that is not allowed. Why have they done that? Again, obviously there's levels of severity, and if it's too bad, you just ban them. You don't give them the time of day. I don't think I've ever left a stream or a particular game or had to take a break because that person shook me. I don't get shook in real life. The very job that I do is very intense, and if that doesn't shake me, a random person online isn't obviously gonna offer that kind of smoke to put me on tilt. It just doesn't happen. But if I were to give advice to people who maybe more, I say vulnerable might be the wrong word, but it's probably the only word that's sort of stuck in my head, who are more vulnerable to reading that kind of negativity and would take it on board. These people are anonymous. They don't exist to you in a real space. They are there to see it and to be engaged. It's bullying in school. If you react, they know that they've got you. If you don't react and leave it be, they're gonna get bored and leave. Just allow it to happen. Ban if you need to. Don't give it the time of day.
Go on, solid advice. I like it. Alright, well, yes, it did deserve a bit of a rundown, a bit of a chat through, because it's something. Particularly, I've seen the people, as you said, the people who do react to this, and it does get to them, because you will often hear from individuals who will, they'll have streamed every day for a week and then stop for a week, 2 weeks maybe, because they're just like, I can't deal with this, it's horrible, it's starting to break me. Yeah, you do need to sort of be able to pick yourself up when that happens.
Yeah.
Go on. Alright, we're going to change the topic completely to something a little more fun. So go on.
I love fun.
Yeah, well, we've covered sort of how the channel began, how things have progressed, and why they progressed in the way they did. Go on, tell us, where's the channel at now? How do you feel Ross TSU's going?
Oh, I think the situation with myself, with having that year hiatus away from streaming, on my return, when was it? March 2021. I think it was late Feb. I did a month of solid streaming. Worked incredibly well. Statistically, I was becoming an anomaly for the time that I've had off previous to that. And it was looking really well. Again, there was no monetization. I was an affiliate, but I wasn't getting any monetization. I disabled my subscription ships. I've never had a donation link up until my return now. It was never about money. But all those viewers who were there before were coming back, and I'd never expected it. I didn't post it on Twitter. I deleted my Twitter, so I've had to make a brand new one now. I had to reorganize a new Twitter. My Discord was locked on a previous account because my two-factor authenticator on my previous phone, apparently Discord can't remove it, but every other place can remove it. So I lost my old Discord, which had, I think, about maybe 500 to 600 people. I had to make a brand new one again. I didn't advertise my return now to anyone. Back then to anyone. And they all came back. Maybe 3/4 of them came back. And it was so astonishing to think that people were really, I would say, caring to see, wow, he's just randomly came back online with no warning whatsoever. We didn't know why he left initially. He just left and didn't say anything. And now he's back, crazy. And then the hype continued. My boisterous personality might have kept a lot of people in. My low IQ gameplay definitely didn't help me whatsoever, but I believe I picked it up with my attitude. And then taking the year away, I put up a big Discord post to say, not too much detail of what happened. I'm in hospital at the moment. I've had 2 lumbar punctures. I'm being tested. I do believe, though, I'm not going to be streaming for the foreseeable future. And then you wouldn't believe, my Discord DM started blowing up over maybe 6 months. How are you? Just checking up on you to see if everything's okay. If you don't read this, it's okay, but I just want to let you know that I'm thinking of you. And that was so humbling. And I mean, hundreds of people were just coming in. And I'd never look at Discord on my phone. Well, I couldn't. I was blind. That's a bit of a joke, by the way. I got
I was thinking when you said, like, you were looking at these things, I'm like, dude, what your eyes like out of commission? Didn't want to bring it up, but go for it.
No, I'm hearing the boop, 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 boop. I'm like, oh, just leave to it. And taking that step back was nice. Not that I needed it. It was obviously down to the health reasons that I was forced to take it, but it was so nice to sort of recoup that. everything in my health sort of came together maybe late November last year, and I thought, I'm going to return to streaming. I got a new home. I've got Virgin fiber optic. I got a gig download speeds. This is fantastic. I got a brand new rig. I mean, look at this. Look at this purple. Oh, God. Got a new rig. And I thought, why not try streaming? And again, the same that I did last year. I came back with no notice. Not even my mod knew I was coming back. And there I was, just gaining traction. I did 3 weeks of testing. And then I made the official return, I believe the 29th of March. And it's every weekend that I stream has gone from strength to strength. I don't think I've lessened statistically in any weekend, but it's going so quick, so fast. I don't know what I'm doing right, but I gotta keep this going.
Ah, rock and roll. Go on, you're on a wave. Keep it running. Cool. Well, that's very interesting though. You're saying that you didn't like highlight this to anyone. You just kind of appeared. What do you feel might have changed? Was there any reason behind that? Like, reason you would, I don't want to say keep this a secret, but make it like a sudden jump? Was that kind of the feeling?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know where it came from. I didn't do anything different than what I would normally do about my normal life. I'd keep active on Twitter. I'd post up random memes on Instagram. My content would be then uploaded, as I said to you, scheduling these shorts. I think the one thing I did stop doing was really putting time into these 10-minute videos. I'd do maybe a week worth of editing, put that video up, get disheartened, realize this is not where I need to be. I just need to be in the algorithm somewhere. I need YouTube to say, oh, this channel's active. Let's put it somewhere that isn't someone who has 2 subscribers and 14 music playlists that are set as private. We'll give that person no space. I need to get in there somewhere. But with no analytical background on how things work, I just followed the same formula I always did. And it, again, strength to strength with no apparent reason. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Just, yeah, run it, see what happens. I like the method. Yeah, ride the wave. Go on, no, I am intrigued though, because you brought up that you are over on YouTube. You do have a YouTube channel. I was having a butch on it. I'm trying to think, how do you feel, because we were discussing before the stream start, of course, you were on multiple platforms. So you've actually got a few different profiles running, all with different content. How do you feel Twitch has allowed you to grow, has promoted you compared to your growth and development on these other platforms?
Which I think, before growth, gave me the confidence to think that this could be something that's real. My mindset has always been, I will be successful in this space. I know that what I put out every weekend when I stream is good. It's fun. The vibes are always positive. I know this is probably generic stuff that most streamers would say, but my confidence shot through the roof personally, and I wanted to do this because I knew I could break through somewhere. And I thought Twitch gave me an opportunity to really grow elsewhere. And I knew it wouldn't be a case of you can't go on YouTube and you can't go on Hover. But I needed to, I was going to say expose myself, that's the wrong word. I really needed to branch out to other websites.
The TOS, but yeah.
I know, this is a plus 18 before this even is. I needed to see where I could set myself, and with all the free time that I had, where does my editing come into play? Where does my recording come into play? When can I stream in those times? And then where to upload. So maybe over the last year, I've learned that Hover exists. I didn't know Shorts content was a thing, maybe up until 5 months ago. So it was all snowballing together of what I was learning, because we all learn still. I don't have an editor, all that's done by me. It was just finding new avenues on how I could continue to get exposure externally away from Twitch.
I can run with that. So it's kind of just, yeah, venturing out to try and create that exposure to have more people come over in. How are you finding that? Finding success in it?
Hit and miss. Immensely hit and miss. People would say the tags are very important. What you title things are very important. Creating the right thumbnail would get people to get onto there. But it's all hit and miss. You could develop the greatest short on earth that has everything. It has action. It has drama. Listen, I give smooches on my stream. My streams have romance. It could have everything that you need to have a top quality clip, and you get 4 viewers in 24 hours. nuts. It's crazy. Or you could have, this is really funny, lol, and then you make the short, you put it up, 2,000 views. That's happened to me on YouTube, and I don't know what I need to do to make it consistent. But I've stopped really trying to figure that out, and I'm, again, enjoying the practice that I'm doing, creating the shorts, getting up onto these websites, and just communicating with the correct people, just enjoying it.
100%. Well, I'm going to stick on that for a bit, because this is something with talking to a lot of different people, a lot of different streamers, a lot of different content creators, a lot of different developers who all use different platforms to promote their stuff. They all get bogged down on the details. They're all looking through, as you said, they're trying to figure out, how does this work? How does this work? Mate, if it worked, it worked. Don't get me wrong. Have a think about it. Think about what you did, what was good, what did people like. But don't worry that much, or else you're just going to drive yourself silly.
I got friends who will message me saying, that clip got 1.2k views. How? I would tell you if I knew what I did right. It might just be a case of, like, I don't know. I couldn't even lie to you to tell you what I think it is. I just enjoy the process. I enjoy putting the content up, even if 4 people view it and I get 4 likes. That's made my day. Nothing could go wrong. I could lose my shoes and still be happy about it. Yeah.
No, I can run with that. I can run with that. I was just thinking, if you get 4 views and 4 likes, go on, what would you do if it was 4 dislikes?
Learn. Try and learn from it. There's got to be something in that content that says, there's no way that in those 4 viewers, 4 people dislike this. See what I did wrong. Is the music shit? Did I say something that might have been inappropriate? Is the gameplay quality bad? Did I edit something that was incorrect? You learn from the dislikes. But now YouTube has disabled the dislikes. There's no learning. They got rid of it for the sake of people not liking. They look at the ratios. But that was a learning step. People don't dislike things. Okay, maybe sometimes. They don't dislike things for the memes. They dislike it because they dislike it. That's what it's there for. You learn from it.
Yes, I think the universal call is, at least from content creators, from what I've heard, is that they want the dislike back. They want it displayed. Because, yeah, it's a massive learning curve. And if you have a video that gets tons of dislikes and your next video gets a ton of likes, it shows you've progressed. You've shown to people, I've taken in what you've said and I've learned from it. Thank you for taking the time. Particularly comments, negative comments, I always find really useful. Go on, no, I'm curious on this idea. Have you had much of a negative response from anything?
I think I got striked once on a short.
Strike?
Because I can't remember. Yeah, so they'll do a copyright strike.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you could do it on shorts. That was crazy for me. I used a particular clip of a sound that I didn't know. I thought it was all royalty free. I got it from a website that was royalty free, and I thought it was fine. But the person that sourced it he'd used this meme before. It wasn't his, but he uses it continuously in his videos as he does like sort of meme compilations. And then I got copyright strike by him, so I'm messaging him saying, if you're the correct owner, I'm awfully sorry, I'll remove the video. Can I just ask, are you? And he said no. I'm like, oh, right, so why? Yeah. And then it was the automatic YouTube thing. He's used it before. The .mp3 file has been used in his videos. Copyright strike. So he said, I'll see if I can get rid of it. And then within like 72 hours, I don't know whether he emailed them or YouTube did it themselves, the video was fine. That's been the only negative scare that I've had, was this one random automated copyright strike.
All right. Yeah, that does sound very random. What the heck's that about? Oh, no. So, that's good to hear, though. You haven't had to deal with any real negativity from any of those other platforms. Bring this back to Twitch. You did mention before that you'd finished a stream and people said like, what was up? You know, you didn't really have that energy about you. Has there been any, I don't know. I don't want to say negativity. It's more like critique. Like how have you taken on board critiques, reviews from other people?
I accept everything that comes forward as a critique, as you said, as a critique. Always, seriously, always. Unless I'm getting things that are dumb that say didn't look good. Elaborate. What didn't look good? Work with me so that I can work with you. I take it all on board. I think when I first started out anyway, I was so shaky in wanting to create something that I got a webcam, I got the microphone, and my poor mod Jath was just there for 12 hours a day over maybe 5 or 6 days of going, troubleshoot this, troubleshoot that. Does this look good? Does that look good? And love her, she stayed the entire time of me troubleshooting all of these terrible things. But she's the only person who will come to me and say, your audio is shit. So I'm like, damn, I gotta fix whatever audio issues are bad. Or she'll watch me do things like, you didn't change the scene. Oh, I've played League for half an hour and they've just seen my face in a chat box. I'm like, oh, what have I done? But that's my goldfish brain in effect. But with critiquing, it was me sort of being lazy, and they would say, where's your channel trailer? Then I created a channel trailer. You've got to identify with an emblem or a badge of, well, as you brand, you need an image. I made the TSU logo. All of my critiques have been from a standpoint of me being lazy or having not reached the point when I needed to do something, and they're going, this is like YouTube 101. Where's your channel trailer? I'll get it done soon. I'm so busy, man. I'm so sorry. That's the last thing I thought of. But yeah, the critiques haven't been of what I've been doing. It's more of what I hadn't done. But yeah, all come on board, all accepted, and now hopefully all cleared.
No, rock and roll. Go on, no, it's an interesting one to hear. Is basically your community telling you like, get a kick up your ass, mate, but get doing it.
Yeah. so bad, dude. Honestly, it's awful. Oh.
I can't say nothing. I'm the same way about. Don't worry about it. Go on. No, it's been a very, very interesting chat, and thank you for answering a ton of questions. I know this has been a very heavy question chat. No, it's not a chat. This is a straight up interview at this point. But no, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I didn't really expect it to be this well. Not saying that I had any expectation of you at all. The 2 interviews I've done previously were like, answer this. Oh, okay, you're too robotic. Answer it in a different way. Oh, dude, is this informal? You told me it was informal. I'm gonna have to back out. But no, it's been great. Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Oh, that's brutal. Go on, no, glad you've had fun. Just to finish this off, so I always ask what's coming new on the channel, but I suppose with you doing so many varied things, what's new coming up for Ross TSU?
Oh, well, there actually is news, surprisingly enough. There's going to be some hot tub stream. There's not a hot tub stream. We're not going into that. There is going to be IRL streams twice a week. I have got the equipment all ready and set up to hopefully get the correct UK couriers to get, not couriers, what are they called? Like network providers to hopefully stream some random Costco shopping, drifting, we get everything.
Oh, like out and about sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
That might be coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but other than that, the streaming is going to be going ahead as normal every weekend. The shorts creations every day. But yeah, the IRL stuff is going to be coming soon to open up that creative portfolio of mine.
Go on. We were winding up to the end, but actually that's a very good point and something I wanted to chat on. Sorry, I've just found my notes. Yeah, here's my super professional notes. Quickly scroll down. But go on. No, I wanted to ask you because you did say earlier on that Twitch began as this gaming site, and a lot of people feel like it's kind of shifting away from gaming. But I had noticed when I was going over and checking through your stuff that you also do a lot of chatting, and you're saying now you wanted to go into looking at some in real life stuff. How do you feel that shift for you? What made you kind of want to explore these new avenues beyond gaming?
Having gamed and been at this bloody PC for 7 or so years, I'm seeing gaming not only just oversaturated, but it's burning me out, having to find the right game that I want to stream for 4 hours, where the chat doesn't see it as, he looks angry, he looks like he's just doing this because he's doing it. I've always loved the ideas of being outdoors, traveling. I'm in the car more than I am in my own home. Traveling to random Airbnb spots. I'll spend a day away somewhere on a beach, eating ice cream, getting fatter. I shouldn't say that. But I think that's a journey I can definitely take chat on. That isn't just a case of, here's a camera on my chest, I'm walking down the street. Oh, that's a cute dog. Pet the dog, keep walking. I think I can definitely create a much more entertaining IRL experience that sort of gets chat involved as if they're with me. But yeah, I think that it'll be good for me and my personality that IRL streaming becomes a part of the portfolio.
Cool. Oh, rock and roll. Some good reasonings behind going into it. I am sort of curious then. What Kind of what brought you onto that? Because I'm imagining you would have seen that elsewhere.
Yeah. I got a friend who does IRL streaming. His name is Zoosh, a wonderful human being. He is a massive fitness freak, and all of a sudden he'll travel to some random country that's near his hometown, and he'll travel to a country that's near his country, not hometown. That's weird. And all of a sudden he'll put his phone down in the middle of a park of a city he's never been in, and you'll just start doing chin-ups. That's so weird. And then he'll have a boombox, and people will donate a certain thing, and all of a sudden you're hearing a really loud orgasm noise, and then all of a sudden he's mid chin up. He drops to the floor, scrambles to his phone. It's not so much where it's overbearing, I would believe, for the general public, but also it gives that interactive side that the chat can be like, oh, we're not just watching this guy do pull-ups. I know, I'll donate £2 and I'll make it really uncomfortable, and then it'll just be like fart reverbs for maybe an hour. But I'm very expressive. I believe my personality doesn't need to be behind a camera inside my own home to draw the best content out of me. I think the IRL space is definitely for me.
No, rock and roll. Go on, yeah. I just wanted to grab that at the end because it is an interesting shift coming on into Twitch, but also onto other channels. Kind of I suppose it's like a natural evolution, really, of vlogging, kind of live vlogging.
Yeah,
really.
But I just feel like people need to see their own growth a few years ahead. It isn't just you can sit down, play your favorite game, and stream. Sometimes you're going to say to yourself, "This just isn't for me." There are other avenues you can take. Twitch is so vast. Trovo and Facebook, I can imagine, offer their own forms of genres of streaming that you could sort of get into. But IRL for me was the one that I believed suited me better if I was to sort of step away or lessen my gaming on Twitch.
Oh, rock and roll. Cool. Well, just to finish this off, where can people find you if they want to see some of your stuff?
You can find me in your home. I'm your dad. Or if not, it's going to be on Twitch at RossTSU, YouTube, unfortunately, as the RossTSU, or TikTok, that'll be RossTSU as well.
Well, yes, thank you very much for coming on again and giving us all that info.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me.
Well, until next time, as always, everyone, peace out.